Hello YouTube. Today we're going to do a little quick cut test on the CKC Victorious, and this is the one that I carry on a daily basis. When I got it, my intention was really just to put it in my collection since I collect Kylie's knives, but it was such a good everyday use knife that it just went in my pocket and it's been there ever since. So I thought, now that I've used it a while, I would go ahead and do a little demonstration with it. The knife itself is AEBL, and it's at 60 Rockwell. And AEBL, for those of you that don't know, is a steel that was designed initially as a razor blade steel. So it's very fine grained, very fine structured. It's somewhat akin to 12C27, I believe, is the correct one. I know there's 13C27, etc., but either the heat treat on the AEBL or the tiny, and it is very tiny, fractional difference in the makeup of the steel is just enough to really change the edge holding properties of it. And I like this better. You know, I'm not going to say that this is going to hold an edge like M4 or anything else, but it certainly holds an edge longer than I expected or thought it would. It has a slide lock, I guess, for lack of a better word. Detent maybe be a better term for it. It's not meant to totally lock the blade open, although it does do that. If you banged it around, if you slammed it around, this can come up, but you can set the tension on this wherever you want it. And if you wanted to basically, if you're going to do extended cutting, use it as a fixed blade, you just take your wrench, torque it down, and then for all intents and purposes you lock it in place and you have a fixed blade. It works great in everyday use, and it hasn't shown any propensity to unlock on me at all whatsoever. So I finally got some chintzy little Atlanta phone books here. You would think they'd deliver them all the time, but they actually don't. And it's really good. I can't even feel that. It just falls through that stuff. So I use it for packing, cutting cardboard, cutting stuff for my lunch. Here's a few little. I didn't have any full-size tomatoes, but here's some little cherry tomatoes. What do you call them? I guess that's it. And whoops, let me get this stuff out of my way. And we'll just cut these up, throw them in there. I'm going to probably throw these on a sandwich later. And it's a fairly thin blade. It's that looks to be about 2.5 mil in thickness, and this is really pretty effortless, other than my big old bear paws trying to hold on to these tiny little things. It just pretty much falls right on through them. And I like the thinness of the blade. I really like a lot, especially when I'm cutting cardboard, things like that. It's really easy on cardboard. All right, that's enough of these. Let me rinse this off just quickly. And get some of this off the board. Just a piece of leather that I use in sheath making. This happens to be a scrap that I have left over. I'm working on D-Bear's sheath right now, and this is a piece that came out alongside the cut strip. It's quite thick. I don't know if you can see that. I actually use this in the leather working to cut with because it cuts so well. Just Hope I'm getting that in frame. Let me do that down here further. I wish I had a camera that would do from both sides. It should and does push cut leather. With moderate pressure. I have to put a little bit of oomph behind that. That piece is, I guess it's about 1.5 inches across there. Rock it a little bit, but it certainly leaves a nice clean cut. I pretty much just tend to strop this to touch it up. It doesn't need a whole lot of actual resharpening, if you will. Taking it to the stones and redoing it. It really does pretty fine for a long time with just stropping. So I anticipate this blade will last me quite a while. I'll never really put a huge amount of wear on it because I don't know if you can see it is number 0. So it's going to stay in my collection. Used but not abused, I guess is the term. Oops, we got 2 pieces of this stuff here. Let's get rid of one. Still no problem if I do my part. Just, as I say, if I do my part. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit. I hope that's low enough. I'm going to be aggravated if I go to show this and half of this stuff isn't even in frame. And this stuff is a great cutting medium, as you can see. It's nice and flimsy, and if you don't do your part, even if the knife is really sharp as this one is, it's not going to go through it. But when you do, it just falls through this stuff. I think this is a good cut test medium for it. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way. I'm hoping you guys can see this and cut sideways to the camera. And it's not I pretty much push cut it when I do what I'm supposed to do and do my part. I don't have any arm hair to speak of. I test these things so much that you probably can't even, but the hair just disappears off of there. Maybe on here better. Can I get that down where you can see it? But anyway, that's just a quick little video, and it's just a super knife. It's very comfortable to use. It chops up anything you need to chop up, from tomatoes to leather to useless old phone books that none of us use anymore. I'm surprised they put any out. I guess the yellow pages. I don't think we even get white pages anymore. I think we only get the yellow pages. Bound up in that nice. You can, if you pick up the leather and push it together, you can bind it up pretty good. Let's try it back here. Way back here. How about up here where we just slammed it into the board? It still cuts. anyway, you get the idea. And it's one thing it's really good for is skiving leather down or thinning it. When I'm going to make a bend in the leather, I bought a tool for this, and I've ended up using this guy more because it does a better job, and you can plane the leather down to whatever thickness you want there. But very happy with it, very satisfied, so it's definitely going to stay in my pocket for the foreseeable future, and probably I'll carry it for a few more months yet, and then it'll go in the collection. But that's a CKC Victorious. If Kylie ever does another run of these, I would grab one if you could. You're not going to find a better everyday work knife than this. And with no springs, tension, or anything on it, there's just not a lot of wear and stress that's going to be placed on the pivot pin or anything else. You know, just check his site and mine at www.gearbastion.com, and I will be posting some of my knives and doing videos on my knives later this week, probably around Saturday, I think is when I'll have them done, and I'll be posting some of those on the site in case anybody decides they want one. And that's pretty much it for this time, so you guys take it easy. I hope you have a great day today, and we'll talk to you later.